like preschool and where you take your children while you work, daycare, okay? I was shocked at what has to be done because there's so many regulations and everything, okay? If you like own a daycare or something like that, there are so many regulations on what you can feed a child while they're in your care, okay? And you have to prove, you have to put together, because we have to put together like week-long menus, all right, based on a proper balanced diet for breakfast, lunch, and then the snacks. And I sit there and I'm going, child gonna be hungry. Because really what they consider, you know, balanced and the amounts and so forth, I'm going, that's it? But I guess if you're going to be healthy, yeah, that's it. So what they're looking for you to be able to do, because we are dependent on the foods, we're dependent on those foods to give us the sugars, to give us proteins for those amino acids, to give us lipids. We need to make sure we get proper amounts of water, but we also need to make sure we get vitamins and minerals, because these are a lot of times the pluses, minuses, and so forth that the body needs in trace amounts, but without them, the cells do not function properly. When we talk about getting nutrition, I don't know how to get to it. Okay, so one of the things that happens with our diet, even though we get, you know how like you can read a nutrition label and it'll show you like the amount of this vitamin, that vitamin, mineral, this sort of thing. Okay, there are a few that the body is dependent on strictly from our food, all right? So those are going to be the ones that are essential. You know how like if you go buy cereal or something, for example, it will say contains 5 essential nutrients? This is what they're trying to let you know, okay? So maybe, okay? And the reason I say it that way, all right, so much of what we now take in is so chemically processed, a lot of times the body can't use what we're giving it, if that makes sense, okay? Because it's a man-made formula. So when it's looking at those essential nutrients, the ones that we have to have, okay, that we have to ingest, all right, we're going to find certain amino acids, some fatty acids, most of the vitamins. Do you happen to know what vitamins can be important for in the body?
Structure?
I guess if you look at it in a roundabout way, because vitamins are important to the functioning of proteins. Okay, so a lot of vitamins are important for that. and then minerals, the water. We'll find out as we look at cellular respiration, we do make a water molecule, but it is in no way what the body needs for an entire day's time, okay? And then we have, trust me, if your body is beginning to make carbohydrates, the body's in trouble, okay? We need to, carbohydrates is something we need to feed the body. But we hear a lot of negativity about that now, don't we? Okay? We hear a lot of negativity about the low-carb diet, and don't eat this, and don't consume that, and blah, 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 blah. The body does need a certain amount of carbohydrates every day, okay? Now, some of the ways that the body, when you look at the food, all right, thank you. Okay, so as we look at what the body does, all right, energy, we know, is measured in calories. Because if you look at a food label, you might see 100 calories, 200 calories, whatever. This is letting you know it's energy amount. The way that we know this, okay, like people who are physically active, for example, they can consume a few more calories because their body's going to use it for energy, all right? People who are not physically active have to consume less calories. They have an average, okay, that they say male, female, child, adult, age, whatever the case might be, okay? They have an amount that they say is the average you should get per day, all right? And that should be based upon what you're looking at through or at that little food label and determining your physical activity. A lot of the food labels now, at the very bottom, you'll usually see based on a 2,000 calorie per day diet, okay? Who gets to consume a 2,000 calorie a day diet? I might eat my 2,000 calories a day, but it's going straight to the fat cells, okay? Because I do not have that level of physical activity. For example, an hour-long walk might only burn 100 calories. So if I wanted to lose weight, I would have to look up on this chart my age, my height, my weight, my level of activity, and that'll tell me how many calories I could consume in the day to lose weight. And I don't like that number. Okay? Because, trust me, I love to eat. Okay? But if I could follow it, I probably would, But anyway, it is through these calories, and kilo is just the term, is what they really are measured in, okay? It's just easier to deal with calorie. But what this is it lets us know the energy of that food stuff. So if you look at a label and it says 1 serving of those potato chips gives you 200 calories, all right? And let's say you wanted to burn that off, go find an activity that's going to let you burn 200 calories. Ugh. That ain't fun, okay? Because that would require something pretty strenuous. Okay, too old for that. All right. So, no. But anyway, y'all see where I'm going with that, right? Okay, with that energy. So, if we think back to our foodstuffs, ones that we classified as biological molecules, all right? Now, if you remember that these were the ones we had as the biological molecules, but now you're seeing that we get them from our foodstuffs. It's the goal of the body to break them down into the component part the cell can use. One that we're going to focus on, and the reason we're going to focus on it is because it is the smallest molecule that the cell can use. The cell can use it readily, and it's going to go through the process of both glycolysis and cellular respiration. That's going to be our glucose. That's not our only source of energy. It's the molecule we're going to use to demonstrate getting energy, because it goes through both glycolysis and cellular respiration. We get our carbs. Now, most come from plants, but like for me, my favorite one's sucrose, okay, table sugar. That's from a plant, okay? So these, we take them in. Some of them we can break down, use them in their component parts. Some of them we don't break down because we don't have the little parasite in our gut to break down the cell wall of plants. So when you, like, say, for example, eat a salad, because that's one of the things, like if you go to your doctor and they're like, oh, well, you know, your cholesterol's high, your triglycerides are high, your A1C is high, your glucose is high, okay? They'll be like, incorporate more salad. The reason why, we can't really break that food stuff down. It goes through us as fiber. Yay, nature's roto-rooter. So, what you're going to see is the other ones, okay, as we break them down with the sugars, okay, we break them down into that molecule the body can use, i.e. glucose. If we consume sugars and we do not expend the amount of energy that we have consumed, the first thing the body will do is store that energy. The first way the body stores glucose, it will store it as glycogen. It just simply rearranges the molecule a little bit, and that little bit of a rearranged molecule can go and be stored mostly in muscle cells and some in the liver. Why do you think the body would store